So a couple of things I just want, remember we're talking about how to do the first draft. So I've got a couple of really important things to start with. Welcome to the Boss Ladies Mindset channel, powered by Crown for Success, the largest women's empowerment network for soulful CEOs on social media. We are a coaching business that mentors and motivates women to reach their highest potential in business and mindset mastery. Each one of our episodes will share valuable tips, resources, interviews, and empowering information that will help boss ladies design a life and business they're crazy as fuck about. Hello. Welcome to the Crown for Success YouTube channel. I am Dr. Rana Al-Falaki, a Regional Vice President for Crown for Success, and I am also the founder of Light Changes Coaching. I help executives, leaders, business owners, professional women exude passion so that they can get more by doing less, turning the wanting in life to actually having by doing less. You can find out so much more about that in my book, Women Who Want More, which I am the #1 international best-selling author. And you may remember a little recap from last week, my friends. We are talking about how to tell your story, how to share your story, how to get your book from a concept, which we talked about last week, through to final publication. So, quick summary for last week. I gave you a couple of things. I told you to start setting the intention, which hopefully you have started to do, and then you'll start to notice all kinds of little things about book writing and storytelling coming up. I told you to start thinking about gathering stories, not just your whole overall life story, but stories from other people, little anecdotes about yourself and others that we're going to want you to put into your book. And I talked to you about WIFM, the what's in it for me concept, so that you think, yes, I want my book to raise me to expert status. I want it to be of service. I want it to be of use to other people. But the readers are going to be thinking what's in it for them, and therefore to set your mindset on that target. So a couple of things I just want. Remember, we're talking about how to do the first draft. So I've got a couple of really important things to start with. Number one. When you've decided to write this book, write about what you know and write about what you enjoy. If you decide to pick a subject that is hard going, that you find difficult, that you're going to have to sit there and research and you don't enjoy the research process, it's going to drain you. And if we're talking about energy, which is all of the type of work that I do as a core energy coach, if we're talking about energy, that energy is going to come through in your writing. So write about what you know. This book is supposed to reflect you, your expertise, what you know, what you do, how you can help others. Remember, service. So write about what you know so that you show yourself. You show who you are in this book. And so if you're talking about something that you are passionate about, that passion is going to be exuded through those words on every page. It's going to come across. And then we'll talk about this more next week, but then when you start marketing your book, if you're excited about it, if you're passionate about the subject, that's going to come through and other people are going to want to buy your book or know more about your book. So write about what you know and what you are passionate about. And of course, we've already talked about writing about yourself, your story, but also we're going to move this on a little bit and think about who else are you writing for. Okay, so you're writing for yourself in the concept of enjoying it, but the other aspect is about writing specifically to your target audience. If you go too broad, if you try to write this book for everybody, because yeah, of course everybody can benefit from it. I mean, that's the problem I have. My book is called Women Who Want More, and I've got so many men who have read it. They're like, why did you call it Women Who Want More? You know, we have to put a cover over it so that people don't realize we're reading it. But this is a great book. So many men can benefit from it too. And I'm like, I know. But if it's called Women Who Want More, then women know that it is targeted for them. And so that's who I wrote the book for, and those are the examples that I use for in the book, so that the people I'm writing for can truly relate to it. So we can go really broad and write a book for everybody, but if we do, the chances are we're going to dilute the effects. I mean, it's the same in business. You know, when we think about our elevator speech, and we think about what we do in work and so on, we perfect our target audience, so we have to do the same when it comes to our book. We cannot write for everybody. So yes, we write for ourselves for enjoyment, but we also consider who our target audience is. And it obviously has to be a target audience you enjoy. Otherwise, again, it's going to be too much of a challenge and you're not going to have any fun with it. And for those of you that know me, I am all about fun. Life has to be fun. That's what we need to do. So write about what you know, write about what you enjoy, write for yourself and your target audience, and not for everybody. So those are a couple of kind of key pointers. So let's move on, right? So let's think, okay, I need to get started. What on earth am I going to start writing about? The first thing I would like you to consider, so hopefully you got your pen and paper handy. Number one, listen carefully, is your working title. Now remember, I said here your working title. This does not have to be the final title of the book. But again, when we're conceptualizing it, when we're trying to bring it into reality, we want a working title. So set up your working title and start some market research on the working title. Ask people. Now here's another thing. When you're asking people about your title, don't ask your friends. Your friends will very rarely be honest with you because they want to support you. Don't ask your family, they want to support you. You'll come up to them and you'll say, hey, I've had a great idea, this is the name for my book. And they'll be like, oh great, well done, we're really happy for you. Even though behind your back they're sitting there thinking, really? Oh, but they don't have the heart to upset you. So when you're looking at finding a peer group, think about, okay, you know who my target audience is, so create a peer group. They might be colleagues, but honestly, not your nearest and dearest, and start putting it out there, doing some market research about the book titles, and ask them questions with this working book title. So think to them, you know, what do you think of this title? Is it catchy enough? What does it say to you? What do you think the book would be about? If you were to read this title, that is so important. The book needs to capture people. I mean, ultimately, when we have a book title, we will usually have the title and a subtitle. So the title is what draws people in, and the subtitle tells you what the book is about. So again, if you think of my book, Women Who Want More, it immediately draws you in. I'm a woman, I want more. And then the subtitle, How to Create a Balanced and Fulfilled Life, then tells you what the book is about. So that should hopefully explain things to you a little bit better. So we've got a working title. We are going to do some market research to peer groups and think about the working title and the subtitle being in those two particular categories. Okay, so those are the two things. So working title and target audience. And then the next thing we're going to do is you're not going to start writing your book at this point. You're going to go to the back. That's the third point. You are going to go to the back cover now. For those of you who watched the first video, and if you can't remember we talked about the WIFM, the WIIFM, the what's in it for me. So at this point, you think about the WIFM. What is in it for your target audience when they read this book, and write the back cover for them. So here's the thing. Someone looks at a book, they look at the front cover, they might notice the image or the color for it to be eye-catching. But remember, most books now are seen digitally. Most of us don't go to bookshops and pick things up unless we happen to be at an airport, for example. So it's usually a tiny little thumbnail of a digital image. So that title needs to stand out, and then the subtitle. So then what do people do? They turn over to the back cover and they then have a look at that. So the back cover, couple of tips for you. If you can get a testimonial, that is going to be so incredibly powerful. We'll want testimonials on the front cover, and we'll want testimonials on the back cover. Again, I'm going to cover the marketing side of things more next week. But what I want you to think about with the back cover is bullet points, clarity. People don't want to read an essay on the back cover. They want to know what the book is about. And as they scan it, if they see bullet points jump out of them and think, yep, oh, that's me. Oh, that's me. Oh, that would be really great. Oh, that's a good idea. Then they're going to go deeper and choose to get the book. So we don't want essays on the back cover. We want something that is going to jump out to your target audience in bullet point form for them to know that this book is meant for them. So we've established who we're writing for. We've got our working title with our subtitle. We've done our back cover. And then another little drum roll for you. No, we don't start writing. Sorry. I know you were getting excited there. We're on to number 4, the table of contents. So we need structure, my friends. So then we think about, okay, we're going to write the table of contents because we need the structure for every chapter. So usually think about, you might have an introduction to the book, but then chapter 1 introduces the subject. So the introduction might introduce you a little bit and the motivations for the book and who's the book is for. But once you're on to chapter 1, it's an introduction about the subject matter, and you want to draw your reader in. So that will always be chapter 1. Chapter 2 is then more about you, your story, why you're qualified to help people in this way, why you're qualified as the expert to write this book and tell this tale, as it were. So that will be chapter 2. And then chapter 3 through to however many other chapters you have, whether it's 3 to 7, 8, 9, 10, will be the rest of the book. So think about the structure, think about the messages that you want to tell, and break it down into chapters. And then the final chapter is always a summary of the book, along with calls to action, calls to further learning, calls to reach out to you, calls of what to do now that they've finished reading the book. And there are important marketing strategies involved in all of that, which I'm going to go through with you next week. I was just wondering whether to share one more thing with you, but no, I'm going to leave it as a little teaser when I talked about chapter 2. And how we write about our story in chapter 2 and why we're qualified to talk about it. But yeah, I'm going to leave that one for you for next week. So hopefully you found this very useful. I hope you were writing notes. You had your main bullet points there. That is how you're going to structure it. I want, between now and next week, please drop it in the comments. Share it with anyone you know who's writing a book. But I'll be looking at the comments all week. So if you want some more ideas, you want a little bit more structure, you want to run things by me, then please feel free to do so. And of course, you can reach out to me through my website. I do coach people on, when it comes to book writing. So I can certainly offer lots of advice there. You can reach out to me on my website. It's the best place to get hold of me, which is lightchangescoaching.com. And please do hit the subscribe button, not only to listen to me next week and get a ping when I come on, but of course to listen to so many of my other amazing fellow regional vice presidents who talk about so many phenomenal and useful subjects on this channel. But I think that's it for now. Next week we're writing the first draft and beyond, going on to marketing and stratosphere. I will see you then. Bye bye. Thank you so much for tuning into the Boss Ladies Mindset channel powered by Crown for Success. Please tune in next week for another episode, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram at RVP Queens, at The Girl Gang Confidential, at Crown for Success, at Strong Women Are Beautiful, and of course at Boss Ladies Mindset.